What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we've got something new again. So the last time we took out front subframe, today we've got two dogs playing with each other. No, I'm joking. Today we're going to take out the rear subframe, and that's going to be the job. Hopefully we can do it. I don't know, watched a couple videos, read a few manuals, and let's see what we can do. Let's send it. We're gonna basically jack the car up, same as what we do with the front subframe, and use this. I found this nice piece of wood covered in astroturf. I don't know why, but it is. So we're gonna jack the car up. No, that's not yours. You can't eat that. We're gonna jack the car up, and then disconnect everything in the way and put it on jack stands and on the piece of wood. So let's get that done. Jack the car up, put this under, and get it stable. So now that the car is jacked up, I've done this. I know this is just a temporary jack for now, but I'm gonna tell my dog to move because it's an idiot, and basically drop the car down, and it's gonna sit on here, and then repeat the process on that side. So let's quickly do that. Come Liz. Right, there we go. I mean, it's pretty stable. It's gonna have a bit of play, but it's gonna work. So now, next thing's next. The wheels. Let's take the wheels off quickly. Then we can start looking into the rest of the bolts and that actually hold the subframe to the car itself. Now that we've got the car up and it's stable off the ground and it's not being held up by the subframe, next thing's next is I think we need to move the fuel tank out the way to get to the shock tower on the left and then the shock tower on the right, because that's also holding the car, well, the subframe onto the car. And I've got quite an early model Mini 75, so it still has these bolts on the top in the boot, so that's also where we have to get to them on that side. So let's undo the fuel tank, whatever you want to call this, the bracket. I think it's a half mil, so I mean a half inch, so it's either 13 mil or a 12 mil. Let's quickly move that and get that out the way. And while you're doing that, don't forget to remove there's a fuel, oh, I've got no lights in here, where's my phone? Don't forget to move the fuel gauge reader over here, because otherwise, obviously, that's going to be pulled. And if you have a breather, disconnect the breather on top. I should actually get a breather, but that's very important. So just wiggle the tank a bit and just move it out the way. Just like that, it's out. So now that the tank's out, I have access to two bolts over here and the top strut over there. If your fuel tank is fuller than mine was, then I recommend draining the tank, coming underneath your car over here and draining it basically from your fuel lines over there. So we're gonna have to next take out the handbrake cable that connects to your rear brakes. Pretty simple, and this is a bit stubborn, so I'm going to show you what I did now in case your brake gets stuck and it's just so stubborn. So again, this car, wow, just there's something new every day. So you want to get under the car, right hand side over here. This is the little pin we're going to be taking out, and as you see, there is the pin here and these little pieces of whatever this is, your little locker pin. So let's get your screwdriver and just get inside there, just open it up, just do both sides, as far back to far back to there as possible. So once it's there, you can just grab the other side and it should just bend straight essentially. There's one done. They're so soft you can actually just use your finger sometimes. So in this case, oh, there we go. In this case, what I'm going to do is now grab here, grab the pin, the pliers, and simply just pull. And essentially, eventually, should, there we go, come out. Just like that. From there, remove this pin, keep them together, and pull this back, and out of there, push this through the back here. But what you want to see is if you come around the back here, keepers, look around the back here. So now that we've disconnected the COTS pin at the back, we come to the outside or the front side of where the hub is. And you see the brake line goes to a little, I don't know what you want to call it, it's like a clamp. But that's quite tight, so just get your screwdriver inside there and essentially just open it up a bit. And then once you do that, you just pull the cable and you get this locking pin out. And once you do that, you wriggle it out, and if it still gets stubborn, you get your screwdriver inside there and you pry it out. But then just need to pull this cable through here, through the back, which just like that, and just give it a bit of a tug, and you can just pry it out this corner, then pull it through the other side. Essentially that's how you're going to do it. After you have fought with your handbrake lines that haven't been loosened in 5 years, like, I don't, even longer than that, I don't even know. Next things you want to loosen is if you come back under the car again, obviously this is where everything is. Come back under, you're going to want to loosen all of your fuel lines. Or mine are converted into a, I'm not using the copper fuel line, which I probably should, which is over there. I was using a rubber line, which I've disconnected, and then where this goes into the brake bias. So we're going to have to disconnect where the line comes in from the front of the car. So you want to disconnect right over there. So I'm going to quickly do that, or try to do it at least. If not, I'm not going to show you how to do it, but yeah, you're going to have to disconnect this okie over here. As far as there we go, just like that. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Anyway, so as you can see, we got it out. It's over here. Then you just want to bend it out the way of the subframe. Just ooh, there's a little bit of fuel inside there, and yeah, just watch out for fuel and fluids like that. So now that that's out the way, we can come out. It's behind of the car again. Oh, this is a mission. And where your main lead goes to the front of your car, your positive, I'm going to disconnect mine so I can pull it through and get it out the way of the subframe from when we drop it. So I'm going to quickly undo that. And so as we know, we're going to undo these bolts here that hold on the subframe to the rear boot or the boot, and then 2 bolts over here that hold it to the other part of the car. And if we don't get the shocks off, it's just going to be dangling by the shocks. So what we're going to do is, I only figured this out now as well, these shocks essentially you have to, let me see if I can't, there we go, get you in there. So these shocks essentially have to hold the top post here with one spanner and literally undo them from the bottom. So I'm gonna see if we can't do that now quickly. just like that. That's one shock absorber out. So I'm going to repeat the process on the left hand side, and yeah. Yo, whoever designed that shock, you have to hold the one and loose. Yo, that was a mission. But anyway, that's done. So next things next. I think what I would like to do is take this jack here, jack, yes, jack, and basically prop it under the car over here and start loosening the bolts that hold it at the back, because then when you drop like that it can pivot down, which is quite nice. So yeah, let's jack it up, then start loosening these back bolts over here they are. There's 1 and 2 on each side, and they're all 1/2 inches. So I'm going to use a 13 mil. Let's check. Yeah, winner chicken dinner. Tweet like a tiger. So I've got my 1/2 inch span over here. This is actually a really handy oak. So you can put your 1/2 inch, I mean 2 people would probably make the job a lot easier. So put your 1/2 inch on the bottom here and take your other 1/2 inch or 13 and put it in the front there, and just, there we go. Loosen it just like that. Just like that. So let's swap over. So that one's pretty loose now. Hop onto the other bolt. So now that you've loosened these 2 over here, and obviously corresponding with these 2 over here, let's go do the same on the other side here quickly. And I'm going to have to swap hands, which is going to be interesting. Okay, so after you've got these 2 loose, those 2 loose, let's go loosen up here as well. I've got a feeling that this just goes straight into the car. Let's find out. Ooh, there we go. Yep, looks like it does. So that's loose. There you go, that's loose. There you go. Okay, so now let's do the same on that side. Let's loosen these guys. I think what I'm going to do is actually get a jack and jack it up and hold the one side just to help us out. Let's just put it on the, okay, there we go. That's got support there, so we sorted. Right, so now I need to get the back half down. Jeepers, that thing's heavy. I'm so scared. It's gonna be, oh no, it's not even pulling the floor. Ooh, wow, that's funny. Okay. This jack is holding this guy up here, so at least when I drop this side, it'll be alright. It's gonna be that side. So let's go do that. Damn. Quite scared now. This is literally gonna fall now. Okay, right. It's the last bolt. It's the back half. Okay, let's loosen this, bring the soak down. Right. It's 1, 2. And that's how you get a subframe out by yourself. Just like that. Oh wow. Oh, jeepers creepers. I was not expecting that. Here we go. So after battling for a while, yes, doing this with one person and doing it by yourself is actually quite hard, but eventually, here we got it out. I'm actually really impressed with the condition of it. It really is in bad condition. It doesn't seem like much. There's literally no corrosion whatsoever. So I'm actually pretty stoked with it, but definitely needs a good cleanup. And I mean, yeah, look at these. These are gone, absolutely gone. And so my gas struts and just the condition, it needs a good clean. And just the bottom of the car, so I thought it was a good idea too. But quite scary to think that there's only 8 mil bolts holding, no, 8 mil bolts holding this to the back of your car. It's really quite frightening, mate. It's actually really scary. Here's my exhaust holder, which I've never used. But yeah, that's, I guess, how to get one subframe out. I think in the next video, we're going to stop stripping the front and rear subframe and then send them off for powder coating. But as always, thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe if you want, I guess. As always, don't forget to sand it. Have a good one, guys.